the other day, I had a really good idea for a business. This is what you call it. This is what you offer. This is how you price it. Like kind of the whole download for the business came almost in one go. And I started kind of setting those things up and those accounts up. And then I woke up the next day and I was really depressed. And I couldn't really figure out exactly what was going on. And I felt frustrated by it because I was wondering, is this some sort of, pathological demand avoidance thing? I like to call it persistent drive for autonomy. But that thing where once there's an expectation, your brain perceives it as a threat. And your brain is like, we got to get out of there. That's going to make us do stuff that we don't want to do. There's going to be no dopamine at all. And while that may be a part of what's going on there, what I realized was this. I started this out as an exercise in cultivating my own creativity and my own voice. But the longer I went on, the more I started trying to squeeze it into other people's ideas of what one should do in order to succeed in life. And it's not that those things don't have their place. It's just that I need to, for myself, separate them out so that my creativity has a safe space to play, that I kind of promise to that inner artist, that inner part of myself, that I'm not going to exploit it, that I'm not going to force it to always be something that is for money or for someone else. Like I was just feeling on like a almost somatic level how let down that part of myself felt when I started trying to kind of corner it and be like, how do we squeeze as much money as possible out of you? And so my reframe is that I'm going to sort of recommit to this channel being a little bit more freeform, like really a place for me to play, and then have other channels or projects or containers that will be for something that's more like a business. Like if I do creative consulting or if I'm creating content for other people, that will live somewhere else. For some people, it could totally work to combine them. But for me, it immediately puts the dampener on my creativity to be like, okay, how do you crank out as much stuff as possible for other people? It's just a totally different question than like what's in your soul and like what wants to be expressed today. Having this as almost like a protected space to be creative and play for myself will allow me to switch into that more business entrepreneur mindset when I need to, because I can tell that almost like inner child part of myself that like I'm not going to put a warehouse or a data center on top of their treehouse, right? So yeah, that's what's going on. I made a collage for my banner. Maybe it's still up when you're seeing it now. And I think I want to make a lot more collage and drawings and just like things with my hands. That's kind of how this started for me when, after I came back from Ireland, I was like moved to create collage with the photos that I'd taken and make these magical scenes about what I had experienced on the trip. And I think I could probably do that some more, but I'm not going to be like, okay, and then you turn the collage into like a collaging course. I'm going to let it flow for a little bit longer. I think that I cut myself short when as soon as I have an inspiration, I'm immediately like, great, what can we get out of it? It's like this colonialist mindset where it's like, oh, anytime there's treasure, how do we dig it up? Rather than being like, oh, this is a seed. Let's plant it and let it take its time and grow. You know, these things are very, they're not very capitalist. Capitalism really likes efficiency and maximizing whatever it can get in extraction. And that is not what I'm trying to do here. That is a soul killer. So that's my little mostly internal shift for this. And we'll see what I make next. So thanks for watching, and I hope you have a beautiful and creative day.